Are all my clowns out there, my friends? How are you doing? Shade's Clarity Channel. Oh, the weirdness just will not stop. Last night I went back to an AA meeting at a certain place that's not my home group. We all meet in this parking lot of this pizzeria at 6:30, and because it's held on a certain area, military area, we all have to carpool. Everybody's like, oh, you can ride with me, you can ride with me, and you know, we squish ourselves like sardines. I mean, because there's usually about at least 10 of us that go, and then there are people that are around that arrive before we do. And this is what aggravates me. So we all get together in that parking lot, and then I catch a ride with a guy, a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a while, because I haven't been to this meeting in probably 7 months, because I was relapsing and I wasn't even going to the other meeting. I was just a mess, a complete wreck. You know, from about April, and then it's off on, finally that final relapse. And I went, and it was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? I heard you were back in meetings. Oh, so-and-so, John, what's going on? How are you doing? I haven't seen you. It was good to see all these, a lot of people. And there was a certain person there I hadn't seen, and we've had differences in the past, and I shook his hand and said, hey, Mike, what's going on? Everything was cool. I mean, it was good to see these people. You know, it's always been a great meeting. It was a newer meeting that one person started, because the other meeting at this particular place, the guy had to take another abuse counseling position somewhere else, so he was unable to continue with the meeting. So I get there, everybody's hooping and hollering, having fun, you know, we get through the readings, and then we start getting into the meeting. And one guy that I had recognized from an earlier meeting, apparently he had gone back out for a while and had come back, and this is like a tale of why a first-time newcomer to AA might never come back. So he starts in about having an estranged wife, and apparently, like, his son had some medical tests done. He had been in the hospital. I wasn't quite sure why he was there. I didn't ask the guy. I didn't want to get into his business. But he started saying, oh, you know, I was just laying on the couch and I couldn't get up, and this, and then everybody was going around. I shared, a woman in there shared, and everything was really civil and everything. So it comes up this other guy, Mike, and he just launches in on this guy saying, well, you should be giving your money to your ex-wife. What are you doing? You don't have a job and you're out here gallivanting around. I mean, really attacking this guy and just making him feel bad. I mean, I wouldn't have put up with it. In fact, I didn't put up with it. So he goes on and on telling the guy, well, you need to do something with your life. You need to, you know, you have kids, you have responsibilities, all this stuff. And I mean, in a real asshole-ish tone. And I was like, man, I was just thinking to myself. So when it came back to me, I poked in after all that. So I raised my hand and said, Shade's alcoholic. To his defense, what do you know about depression, Mike? He could possibly be so depressed that he can't function right now. He's having trouble getting off the couch. Have you ever considered maybe he's really depressed? And he stood up and he jumped on me and said, well, you don't have any kids. You don't know what this is all like. I'm like, look, man, you have no right to jump on this guy. And I said, if I really wanted to be nasty, there's something I could bring up. I can chop somebody off at the legs verbally and make them feel about that big when I want to. And I held back. He stormed out of the meeting. And then somebody, I think it's his sponsee, got up and walked out. So what does this kind of example set for the newcomer that might come to AA or be curious about it, they may not come back. Go out and drink. Like the hell with those people. Screw them. I don't want to be around them. I can completely understand that, and I've heard tales of people having, disagreements, politics, just ruining meetings or almost getting into fist fights, just back and forth. All this. I mean, I was pretty embarrassed to be a member of AA, especially going back to that meeting. It was my first meeting back, or my first time going back to that meeting, and I'm subjected to that shit. So I picked up my 4-month chip, because they give out a lot of meetings. They only give out like the white chip, the surrender chip, and then it's the 30-day chip, 60-day chip, and so forth. But this particular meeting gives out month-to-month chips, all the way up to the year, the blue chip. So I picked up my chip, and then they asked, well, how'd you do it? And I said, well, not being as miserable as Mike. Everybody laughed, of course. I'm that funny. But it was just disgusting. And it really, really burned me up. But if you're looking to go to AA, if you're curious about it, this does not happen all the time. It is very rare. If you don't like that meeting, go to another meeting where people are more chill. If you feel more inclined to go to a more quote-unquote liberal, touchy-feely kind of group, I know people that are into those, go there. But there's not so much tension and anger and just frustration and angst going on at that meeting, as opposed to a bunch of conservative type people that don't have any patience for anything. The topic that was going around, patience. And then he gets up. I said, see you, Mike. Have a good night. Nice seeing you. But he showed no patience at all towards this guy, and he's struggling. He said he had been on a 9-month relapse. I hadn't seen him in 2 years, probably. It was just totally embarrassing. Don't ever treat anyone in AA like that. Things get heated. Be a mature, thoughtful, understanding, empathetic individual. Because he may have just said, F this, I'm gonna go get drunk. And what if he drank himself into a coma and died? How would Mr. Mike feel about it? I don't think he'd feel too good. I just thought I'd get that off my chest using another one of my vintage lenses. I hope the look is pretty good. I'm kind of getting into them. Thanks for all the support about my situation. I think it's moot. And check out some of my other videos around, wherever they may be. Oh, what was that? Oh yeah, my ending. Stay tuned. Come back. See them clowns later.